Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about and celebrating some Black owned makeup brands. So my original idea for this video was to do a tutorial using some products from some of the brands that I'm going to be talking about today, but I decided to change up a little bit. I really don't want to get so wrapped up in talking about products today. I would rather focus on the brand itself. I want to talk about things like the mission and the values and the goals of these brands and the history behind them, why they got started, who the owners are, things like that. So instead of getting so wrapped up in things like, you know, how well something is blending out or how pigmented something is, I would rather just really dive into kind of like the story behind these brands. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I know that there may be some people out there who aren't aware that some of the more popular Black owned brands like Fenty and maybe Pat McGrath, you know, some people may not know that they're Black owned, but for this video, I really wanted to take the time to research, learn about some other brands that are maybe lesser known to me and maybe lesser known to you. And I just wanted to take the time to learn about them because some of these brands I have purchased from before, but I just never knew what their story was. So again, that's what we're going to dive into today. All of the brands that I'm going to talk about today, I do have at least one product from these brands in my look for today. So I'm not going to focus on my look in today's video, but I will make sure that I have everything that I'm wearing listed in my description bar. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So I have a bunch of notes in front of me, so if you see me looking down like this, I am just looking at my notes. There are some things that I just really want to make sure that I mention to y'all about some of these brands. So we're going to start off with Unsun Cosmetics. If you've ever heard of Unsun Cosmetics, let me know in the comments because this is one of the brands that I had never heard of before I started preparing for this video. I was so happy that I came across this brand because I was just so impressed that this brand, which is Black owned, specializes in sunscreen for more melanated skin tones. So Unsun Cosmetics is owned by Katanya Bro, and she started the brand just really out of sheer frustration for not being able to find sunscreens, particularly mineral sunscreens that work for her skin tone. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but sunscreens can be either chemical or mineral. With the chemical sunscreens, it has to be absorbed into your skin and it takes like 15 or 20 minutes before you can go out in the sun. Whereas mineral sunscreens, you can put it on your face and then you have immediate protection from sun rays. Now, with mineral sunscreens, for those of you who have deeper skin tones especially, you're probably aware that a lot of them leave like that white or like that purplish cast to it. For days where you're not going to be wearing makeup, maybe you're going to be like at the beach or at the pool or something like that, it is really nice to have a tinted sunscreen, which is what Unsun Cosmetics specializes in. A tinted sunscreen that takes away most, if not all, of that annoying like white or purplish cast. And because it's mineral, you can put it right on your skin and you can just go out in the sun and be protected. So this brand started in 2016 and since then they have somewhat expanded. They have a couple of sunscreen options to choose from. I want to say they have 3 different sunscreens, I believe, and each of them have like a different shade, but they also have some hand creams and some body lotions. I was so happy to come across this brand because it just allows me the opportunity to speak on the importance of sunscreen. So I hope everybody out there is wearing sunscreen, no matter how light, no matter how dark your skin is. We should all be wearing sunscreen every single day, even on days when we're not leaving the house, because sometimes we could like open up a window, let some sun in. We need protection from that too. So I was just very impressed to have found a brand that specializes specifically in sunscreen for deeper skin tones. So as I'm talking about these brands, I'm probably just going to flash the name of the brand up on the screen, but I will definitely make sure that I link them in my description bar as well. I feel like a lot of people might already know about Mented Cosmetics. I've heard of them before. I've actually never purchased anything before buying something to wear in today's look, but I have window shopped with Mented Cosmetics quite a bit. So this brand is owned by KJ Miller and Amanda E. Johnson, and similar to Katanya Bro's story with the tinted sunscreen, with these two ladies, they started out with lipsticks just out of frustration for not being able to find like your quote-unquote nude lipstick that worked for their skin tone. So they decided to make a line of nude lipsticks that are more pigmented, which is where the name Mented Cosmetics comes from. Their lipsticks are more pigmented so that they can work for different skin tones and not just cater to more fair or more light skin tones. They don't really vibe with the idea of like a universal nude, let's say. They believe that no matter what your skin tone is, you should be able to find products that will just work for you. So those of us who have deeper skin tones, especially people who are like much deeper than me, a lot of times you'll find a nude lipstick per se and you'll have to do like extra stuff to make it work for you. Like sometimes you'll have to use like a lip liner so that the nude lipstick won't look so washed out on your face. With the lipsticks from Mented, they don't want you to have to like put in any extra effort to make their products work like they want. No matter what your skin tone is, they want you to be able to find a product that you can just put it on and it just works, if that makes sense. So like I said, they started out with lipsticks, but they have since advanced to many different products. They have complexion products, they have brow products, they have a really popular eyeshadow. They have a little bit of everything on their website. So next, let's talk about Uoma Beauty, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Uoma Beauty is kind of sort of a new brand that's on the makeup scene, and they have just been taking a lot of things by storm. So Uoma Beauty was founded by Nigerian native Sharon Chuter, and I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly too. But before we get into the brand, if you're not already doing so, you should definitely go to Instagram and you should follow one of her Instagram pages. It's called Pull Up or Shut Up, or Pull Up for Change. I'll have it on the screen somewhere. So this Instagram page, it calls out all makeup brands, whether you're Black owned or not. It calls out everyone to let us know, those of us who are spending our money with these brands, let us know how diverse your employee pool is, especially in executive positions. So this is an opportunity for any brand out there that feels that they are definitely lacking in diversity, especially in those executive positions. This is a chance for you to just be made aware of that and do something about it. It's a very positive page on Instagram, so you should definitely check it out if you have not done so already. Okay, now getting back to the brand. So the word Uoma means beautiful in the Igbo language of Nigeria, and this is coming straight from their website, and I absolutely love this. The brand believes that beauty starts the moment you decide to be yourself. I absolutely love that. That just warmed my heart when I read that. So their goal as a brand is to rewrite the rules of inclusivity and diversity in makeup. So a lot of people may think that just because a brand is Black owned that they're going to cater only to deeper skin tones. Such is not the case. A lot of these brands are very inclusive, and Uoma Beauty is a very good example of that. Their foundation shades, for instance, it comes in 51 shades. So you'll find very fair shades, very deep shades, and everything in between. Uoma has a ton of products that you can choose from. I think they launched quite a bit of stuff at the same time. They have complexion products, eyeshadow palettes, they even have brow products, some highlighters. They just have a little bit of everything. And their products, they do have, obviously they have all of their products on their website, but their products are also sold at Ulta. So next up, I want to talk about the Crayon case. I think the Crayon case is one of the most creative Black owned brands out there. So this brand is owned by RAINE Stewart. You may know her as Wazam Supa if you follow her on Instagram. Her brand is dedicated to beginners in makeup, and if you see like the aesthetic on her website, it's just so creative. She has kind of like a back to school or like education theme with her brand. So for instance, they have makeup brushes, but they look like number 2 pencils. They have makeup sponges, but they look like those like old school pink erasers. Like all of their products are kind of like nostalgic in that way. And as a matter of fact, the product that they started out with, or I should say the product that they're most known for, is their eyeshadow palette called the Crayon case. And she said on, I want to say when Essence was interviewing her, she said that the Crayon case, the palette is supposed to be like really colorful, really pigmented. It's supposed to remind you of like being a kid kid playing with a box of crayons. I thought that was just so creative. If you've ever heard of the crayon case, then you probably heard about their infamous Cyber Monday sale from last year. They made like over $1 million in like an hour and a half on Cyber Monday, I think because they put everything at like 60% off, or it may have been just that eyeshadow palette that they put at 60% off, but whatever it was, I mean, they just cleaned up. Like they cleaned up $1 million in less than 2 hours. It was crazy. But like I said, this brand is geared toward people who are just starting out with makeup. They have a lot to choose from, just like some of the other brands that we talked about today. They have that infamous eyeshadow palette. They have really nice setting powders. They have a bunch of accessories. Their website though, like even if you want to just window shop on their website, it's so creative. You have to check it out. So definitely make sure you check the link in my description bar. So next up we have RAINE Cosmetics. RAINE was started in 2013 and its owner is Lorraine Doughty. So their mission is to spread awareness and diversity through beauty. I love that. So this is another brand that has a lot of different options to choose from, but in everything that they launch, they really take pride in being able to include options for people of color. So this is another brand that is all about inclusivity. Just because it's a black owned brand, they're not catering just to black people. They want to include everybody. They want everybody, no matter what your skin tone is, they want everybody to have options from their brand. I feel like they're most known for their eyeshadow palettes. I feel like when I think of RAINE, I think of eyeshadow palettes, but again, they have a bunch of stuff to choose from, and their products are also sold in Target stores, and I believe they have products that are actually exclusive to Target. So they will make certain products that will only be sold in Target. Even, you know, they won't even be sold on their own website. They're going to be exclusive to Target stores. I love that about RAINE because I think that makes them more accessible. Some of the brands that we talked about, I feel like only one other brand that we talked about so far, Uoma Beauty, they are, like I said, they're available at Ulta, but I just feel like certain stores, they're just more accessible to a lot more people. So I love the fact that they're offered in Target. So next up is Beauty Bakerie. Now, just like the crayon case, Beauty Bakerie has a very creative aesthetic behind their brand. So the reason they're called Beauty Bakerie, it ties into the whole theme, which is kind of like a bakery. So for those of us who love makeup and we love cookies and cupcakes too, this brand will definitely appeal to us. So the brand is owned by SonyaNicole, and you can go to the brand's website and read her story. It is so touching. So she's a breast cancer survivor, and after beating breast cancer, she decided to take the rest of her life to just live out her dreams, and that's what she's doing through her brand. One thing I love about this brand is that they actually have their own like dedicated charity, and they help out orphanages all throughout the world. The name of the charity is Sugar Homes. You can actually suggest a charity on their website for them to donate to. They donate monetarily. They also donate lots of different supplies that the residents at the orphanages may need. And the charity, aside from the brand, has its own mission, which is to sweeten the lives of others. So it ties into her whole theme of the bakery theme for her makeup line. But the fact that they're also using their platform to give back to their community, I just think is outstanding. So make sure you go to their website. Again, it'll be linked in my description bar. Make sure you go to their website and read about SonyaNicole's story. It is very inspiring. So I really wanted to make sure that I included a drugstore makeup brand in this list. Now, I know that I mentioned a brand that you can find at Target and another one that you can find at Ulta. This particular brand, you can find it at some drugstores. I know in my neck of the woods, they are in Rite Aid stores, and I think they might be in Walgreens. Don't quote me on that, but I definitely know that they're in Rite Aid. And again, I wanted to include a drugstore brand just because drugstores are just a bit more accessible to some people than having to resort to shopping online. So the next brand we're going to be talking about is Black Opal Beauty. So Black Opal Beauty, they just became black owned last year in 2019. They're now owned by Desiree Rogers and Cheryl Mayberry, but I want to share with you the story of this brand even before they became black owned. The brand originated back in 1994, and it was started by a chemist, and I'm going to put his name up on the screen because I cannot pronounce his last name. But this chemist, he wanted to start making products, skincare products, for his wife, because his his wife really couldn't find a lot of options out there by way of skincare that catered to black skin. So he teamed up with a black dermatologist named Cheryl Burgess, and together they started making skincare products specifically for women of color. So even if you don't live near a store that sells Black Opal Beauty, you can shop online. They have a wide range of products too, from complexion products, brow products. They have really good lip products. They too have a little bit of everything. So the last brand that we're going to talk about today is the Lip Bar. So the Lip Bar was founded by Melissa Butler, and they strive to help change the way people think about beauty. So this is kind of like paraphrasing from their website, but I love the whole idea behind this. Instead of having people tell you what you need to do or what you need to change to be beautiful, they, as a brand, as a company, they want you to know that you don't have to do any of that because you are enough just the way that you are. And I absolutely love that message behind a makeup brand. A lot of times we resort to makeup for things like covering up acne blemishes and creating like minor illusions on our skin and stuff like that. But our ultimate goal really should be to be comfortable in our own skin. And I was really touched when I read that on their website because it spoke to me about how I started wearing makeup, because I started wearing makeup solely for the purpose of covering up a bunch of acne scars on my face. And even though I have gained a love for makeup over the years, I've also learned to be a lot more comfortable in my own skin. And that's exactly what they strive to do at the Lip Bar. They want people to enjoy makeup, but they want you to know that you don't need it to feel beautiful because you're fine just the way that you are. So I absolutely love that. So those are all of the black owned beauty brands that I wanted to talk about today. I really want to turn this into a series on my channel because I absolutely loved preparing for this video. Even though it kind of took a turn and I ended up doing it a different way, I loved learning all of the stuff that I shared with you today. If you're interested in this being a series on my channel, please let me know in the comments. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I hope that y'all learned something today. Let me know if you knew any of this stuff already, or let me know what you enjoyed learning about any of these brands today. So again, if you did enjoy the video, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and I really hope to see y'all back here for my next video. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.